Somewhere in the world, right now, there's a garage. No cameras outside, no paparazzi, no Instagram posts bragging about what's parked inside. Just silence and a price tag that could buy a private island with enough left over for the yacht to get there. And today we're counting down the 10 most expensive cars on planet Earth and the people behind them. Some of these names you'll know instantly. A few of them are complete ghosts that nobody has ever officially identified, and I need you to stick around until the very end because the car that takes the #1 spot didn't just break the world record. It smashed it so hard the old record doesn't even look close anymore. And to this day, nobody has ever officially confirmed who's driving it, so let's get into it. We'll ease in with the cheapest car on this list, and I say that with a lot of sarcasm because we're still talking millions of dollars. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather couldn't resist showing this one off, because honestly, if you were money, Mayweather could you. The Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita cost him $4.8 million back in 2015, and only 2 of these have ever existed on the entire planet. The name literally means 3 whites in Swedish because Koenigsegg originally planned to build 3, but the diamond weave carbon fiber body was so brutally difficult to produce, they gave up after 2. Mayweather's was the only one ever built for the US, and he eventually sold it at auction for $2.6 million. Now let's climb higher because next we leave supercars behind entirely for something built on pure obsession. The Rolls-Royce Sweptail cost around $13 million, and it wasn't just expensive, it was built for exactly one human being on Earth. Every stitch of leather custom made from scratch for a Hong Kong businessman named Sam Lee, tied to one of the wealthiest real estate dynasties in Asia. When it debuted in 2017, it instantly became the most expensive new car ever built, a title that does not stay unbroken for very long on this list. And then there's a hypercar so rare that even lifelong car collectors have never seen one in person. The Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta is valued at around $17.5 million, and only 3 were ever made. All sold before the public even got a proper look. The owner's almost completely anonymous. And if you think about that for a second, staying invisible might be the most expensive flex of all. But anonymous owners are one thing. What's coming up next is on a whole different level. Cars where literally nobody, not even the manufacturer, will confirm who bought them. Take the Bugatti Voiture Noire, which translates to the black car. It sold for roughly $18.7 million, briefly making it the most expensive new car ever sold, built as a tribute to a legendary 1930s Bugatti that vanished during World War II and has never been found. And here's the twist, Bugatti has never officially confirmed who bought the modern tribute either. There are whispers, some say it's tied to a senior figure inside the Volkswagen Group, others swear it's a private Middle Eastern collector, but nobody outside that person's inner circle actually knows. The car is real. The $18 million is real. The owner is a ghost. Then there's the Rolls-Royce Boat Tail, valued at around $28 million. Look at this thing and you'll understand why people call it a yacht that learned to drive. It has a rear deck that mechanically opens up into a cocktail table, complete with its own parasol, because apparently regular car trunks are for regular people. Only a handful were ever built, and reportedly one belongs to music's ultimate power couple, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, who apparently looked at their garage full of Ferraris and Rolls-Royces and thought, we need something nobody else on Earth has. And then Rolls-Royce shows up again with the drop tail, specifically the version called La Rose Noire, valued at around $32 million, making it one of the most expensive brand new cars ever built by human hands. And just like the Bugatti, the buyer's identity has never been revealed. All we know is it was commissioned by a single private client who apparently prefers to remain exactly what they've always been, invisible. Okay, enough ghosts. Let's talk about the cars where we actually do know who's behind the wheel. And trust me, these names are even bigger than the price tags. The Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, worth an estimated $40 million, belongs to fashion designer Ralph Lauren, a man who might quietly own one of the greatest private car collections that has ever existed. Only 3 were ever built back in the 1930s, and this exact one has won Best in Show at Pebble Beach, the single most prestigious classic car event on the planet. Ralph Lauren didn't just buy a car here, he bought a rolling piece of art history that museums would go to war over. Next, we step into serious auction territory. A rare 1962 Ferrari, chassis number 3765LM, if you want to sound like an expert at your next dinner party, sold at a Sotheby's auction in New York back in November 2023 for $51.7 million to a private collector whose name was never released. And this isn't just an old, pretty car. It actually raced at Le Mans, one of the most punishing endurance races in motorsport history, and the number keeps climbing. In February 2025, a 1954 Mercedes-Benz W196R CCXR, the exact type of car driven by 5-time Formula 1 world champion Juan Manuel Fangio, sold at auction for $53.9 million. Just sit with that for a second. This isn't a replica sitting in someone's living room for decoration. This is the actual machine that helped shape the sport of Formula 1 as we know it today, now quietly resting inside someone's private collection. Quick pause before we get to number 1. If you're new here and you're into this kind of you won't believe people actually own this content, go ahead and subscribe because we do a lot more of these. Okay, deep breath. Let's talk about the most expensive car ever sold in the history of the human race. In 2022, a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe sold at a private Mercedes-Benz auction in Stuttgart, Germany for approximately $142 million. Say that number out loud to yourself. $142 million for one single car. That's not just a record. That's more than double the previous world record, obliterated in a single afternoon inside one auction room, and in true fashion for this list. The buyer's identity has never been officially confirmed. The strongest rumor points to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the billionaire owner of Ineos, but even that has never actually been verified by anyone involved. Somewhere out there right now, one of the single most valuable objects on 4 wheels ever created is sitting quietly in a private collection, and the person who owns it has never said one public word about it. Not one. So that's the list. 10 of the most expensive cars ever built or sold, owned by a mix of legends, billionaires, and complete strangers we may genuinely never identify. Some of these names you already knew, others might stay a mystery forever. So tell me, which one got you more, the price tag or the fact that we still don't know who owns some of these? Drop your answer in the comments because I actually want to know which one shocked you the most. And if this kept you hooked from start to finish, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one.